out. Okay. Your Instagram, can you hold on to that question about expo size? Hold on to that question for a couple minutes and repost it again. Right, public or nothing. I do agree. For your brand or your business, your profile needs to be public. I do not follow, I do not retweet or repost anyone whose profile is private. And it says that it's XYZ business, boutique, whatever. I just don't. That if you need to have two separate, I'm not 100% sure the rationale for people, because if you monitor your social media profiles, which you should be doing, which I do, actually police, I don't just monitor, I police my social media profiles. You should never have a problem with a whole bunch of spam, with a whole bunch of people kind of hacking or any sort of negative things that come with a public Instagram. I don't have those. I don't have those issues at all, because again, I'm making it my business to police my profile. So if there's somebody, I look at every person that follows me, and I have over 8,000 followers, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things isn't a whole lot. So I'm still at the point where I can look at everyone's profile and be like, oh no, block, delete, whatever. But I do think that it's obviously going to get harder, and it will be harder if you have a much, much larger platform. But at this point, you want to make sure that while it's manageable, that you manage it. So I absolutely think that if you are a business or a brand, that it should be public. So that's my 2 cents on that. Okay, now in terms of, I mean, who you are as a person can be a part of your brand if your brand is who you are. So for me, Trendy Socialite is Adeea. They are not separate entities. I don't have, the only time that it's really separate is on Facebook. So I am Adeea on my personal Facebook profile. And I do have my Facebook page that is the Trendy Socialite that has more of the branded content. But on Instagram, I don't have that kind of time. So it is Trendy Socialite is Adeea, because I initially started it as just my space on Instagram, and where I wanted to share, you know, things that, and I knew people would recognize Trendy Socialite because they were following me already. So I think that you can, yes, it is hard to have two IG accounts, because I do, and one has 500 followers and the other one has over 8,000. And it's because I know y'all want these event planning tips. It's because it's hard for me to manage both of them. I give more attention to one than the other. All right, so back to the subject at hand in terms of 10 types of events for bloggers. So again, the other reason why I think that bloggers should consider hosting events, I will get back to the expo question. Let's answer that at the end and what the difference is. To connect the audience with brands, a lot of what brands are looking for is that direct audience interaction. And so it gives them an opportunity to have interaction with the brands, not just giveaways, not just samples, but actually the brands can find some way or figure out a way to actually interact with your particular audience. Then lastly, it demonstrates reach, influence, and expertise. So it's one thing for you to go to an event where that event planner is responsible for pulling the attendees, but it really is a strong demonstration of who you are and what your reach is if you are actually able to pull attendees at your particular event. So it's saying that not only can I pull attendees when I go to someone else's events, people come just for me. They come just for me. So I think that that's important as well when you're talking about events. And that's how I was able to establish some relationships with brands myself, because I was able to demonstrate, hey, in Eastern North Carolina, I was able to get 85 women in a room to talk about natural hair. And so they were like, that's amazing, because Eastern North Carolina is Eastern North Carolina. And it's a smaller community. And, they knew that they would get some reach. And my attendees typically are buying attendees as well. So those are the three things that I think you should. The last point is it demonstrates reach, influence, and expertise. Reach, influence, and expertise. Again, if you're just joining me, my name is Adeea Rogers, known online as a trendy socialite, and we're talking about 10, actually more than 10, brand building events for bloggers. And now we're getting ready to get into the good stuff, all of the events. You see this list? Can you see this? Can you see? That's my list of events right there. Can you see? Can you see? All those events. That's what I got to share with y'all. All right. So we're going to start. Yeah. Give me some hearts for all these types of events that you can have. Yay! So we're going to start with nicheless events. And what I mean by that is it's not necessarily specific to any particular niche or industry or interest or whatever. These are types of events that you can have regardless of your particular niche. So it applies to beauty bloggers, fashion bloggers, natural hair, political, moms, all kinds of bloggers you can use these types of events for. The first one is just a meet and greet. I think that there is huge wisdom in doing those events. There are 3 types of events, and I was going to put this in here, but now I still have to talk about it. 3 types of events that you can have. One is a friend raiser, which a meet and greet is. It gives you an opportunity to meet those that are connected with you. One is a fun raiser, F-U-N, which is something fun like a bowling night, a game night, something that is just fun, or going to the movies or something like that. And then the other one is a fundraiser, which is what we're typically used to. So what a meet and greet is a friend raiser. It allows you an opportunity to interact with your audience in a particular way. This is especially useful if you are going out of town for an event, even if it's for work, and you can just say, hey, you want to meet me at at XYZ restaurant, or like, for instance, where we stayed for Return of the Curls this weekend. It would have been a perfect place for us to just kind of hang out and get people to meet and greet. So if you're in an environment or a hotel where that's a possibility, you could do something like that. Again, it's not anything where you really charge. It just gives you an opportunity to connect with your audience, to meet them, to greet them. If you want to do something like a giveaway or something like that, you can. I would not charge. If it's at a restaurant or a bar or a lounge or something like that, then they can buy whatever it is that they want to buy, their drinks or appetizers or dinner or what have you. But it's, again, just your opportunity to connect with people. Some people are doing that. Like, I've seen a few events like in parks and different things. So that's absolutely another place that you can do that on a sunny afternoon. Everyone just gets together in the park and you meet and you hang out and you have a good time. Take pictures and ussies and selfies and all that kind of stuff. So a meet and greet is yes, you do need to talk to the establishment about your having an event there. I think I need to wash my hair. I'm sorry, off track. Y'all know Periscope won't let you be great sometimes. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. Don't forget to give me hearts and invite your followers. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Yay. Thank you. Give us about 30 seconds to come back. Awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. All right. So we just talked about the first nicheless event. Thank you for coming back. No, I don't know what your question was. So if you can repost it, that would be great. The first nicheless event that we talked about was a meet and greet. The second one is a launch party. So this could be a launch around anything. It could be a launch around a new product, your book, a CD, a new business, a new location, a new aspect to your business. If you're going to start something new, it could launch anything. It could even launch an event. You can have a launch party to launch an event. So if you are doing some sort of expo or really, really large scale event where you absolutely need to bring in the numbers, you can do a launch party where you, what about a blog? You can absolutely do a launch party where you are just, it's sort of like a friend raiser. So you talk to them about your event. Hi, how are you? I'm not sure what your question is. Are you asking someone else? Oh, permission of the establishment for a meet and greet. It sort of depends. A lot of times I do call, and if I want a semi or a private room, you do need to call. If it is just a situation, if you feel like you're going to talk it all and you need to get people's attention and that sort of thing, you probably do need to call the establishment. I wouldn't recommend a place like Applebee's or somewhere there and you're just sitting in the bar. And, you know, I would probably have a place where I would reserve a few tables or reserve something where, you know, we could at least be seated together and we're not kind of in the fray of everything. So I would probably call the establishment. A lot of places, if you're going to use the room, you either have to meet a minimum or there's a room charge. So you would just have to kind of work with that. Otherwise, you could just say, I need a table for 15 or 20 people, and then you can probably just get that if you wanted to. All right, I hope that helps. As I was talking about launch parties. So does anyone have any questions about launch parties? So you can use it to launch literally anything. Sorry, my hair is all over the place. Hello. Yes, you can absolutely use a launch party to launch a blog. So you can, you know, have a picture, especially like, you know, your logo or your mark, what it's going to be about, cards and all of that kind of stuff. Thank you. You're all sweet. So yes, you can do a launch party to launch your blog. Could you launch a lunch? Yes. You can sort of think of launch parties as a way, as another friend raiser. So it gives you an opportunity, whether you charge for it or not. I missed that last question. I'm sorry, post it again. Whether you kind of charge for it or not, it gives you an opportunity to get some people together that are interested in you or your content or whatever it is that you may be launching. And so you can tell them more about it, give them more information, and hopefully they will thus do your call to action, which is participate whatever you want them to do with that particular with what you're launching. So whether if it's a salon and you want people to make appointments, you have a launch party, and then you're there making appointments with, some other things and incentives and all that kind of stuff. So yes, you can use a launch. Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can launch your t-shirt line. And let me tell you, launch doesn't have to be just at the beginning. Launch doesn't have to be just at the beginning. It could be at any point, honestly. If you feel like you're ready to take it up a level, you can absolutely do it at any point. You could be in business for 5 years and still have a launch party, because let me tell you something, guarantee you somebody's going to be there that doesn't know about your business, that doesn't know about your brand or your blog or whatever it is. So you can absolutely use a launch event at any time in your life, in your business or brand life. Okay. Yeah, I think it would be cool to do it for a t-shirt line. My mind is already spinning with ideas. Yeah, so I'm going to move on. The next type of nicheless event is just a party. If you want to just have a party, you can do that. If you're in an area like mine that doesn't have a whole lot of options in terms of social events and entertainment, you can do a party. You can do a themed party. It could be a color. It could be whatever. It was actually a launch event, but it was a really, really nice party. We had a great time. It was for an event planning company. And, she was kind of showing what she's able and capable of, but it was just a nice party. I enjoyed it. So you can always do something along those lines and just throw a party. The 90s party? What 90s party? Okay. The next type of nicheless event that you can have is a networking event. So I know it probably sounds a lot. Would you charge a price for just a party? It kind of depends. I mean, you're going to have costs associated with that. I probably would charge something. Oh, Pam's. Yeah, it was nice. We had a good time. Yeah, it was very nice. Does a party have to be professional? What do you mean by professional? I know you think that a networking event is a lot like a meet and greet or a launch party, and it is in some way, but some of the aspects of it would be a little bit different because it's a networking event. So your objectives would be a little bit different. Your location may be a little bit different. You would do, a little bit different activities, like some sort of, what do you drop your business cards in a fishbowl and do that kind of giveaway as opposed to other types of giveaways. You could probably do some icebreakers that involve business cards. And there may even be, depending on the event, an opportunity for somebody to speak or that sort of thing. So you probably are going to have a networking event at a slightly quieter place, or a place that is a little bit more lounge-like, where people can engage in conversations and actually make those kinds of connections, as opposed to a place like a bar or a restaurant, perhaps. Okay, so you can absolutely do a networking event. This next one is going to be that's right. You can use a launch party to reshift the energy of your business. Absolutely can. Think about your local chamber of commerce and where they typically hold a business after hours. I've seen business after hours at fitness facilities that were getting ready to open, and as well as restaurants and libraries and all kinds of places. So don't limit yourself when it comes to that type of event, especially if it is your business. You could do a networking event at your business if you have brick and mortar. You can do it lots of places. So don't think that you have to have kind of an event venue or a hotel or anything like that in order to do it. There may be a nice co-op in your city, the working co-ops, that you could do a networking event at to show off the building. And so even in thinking of, I'm hearing Natural Nicole in my head, monetize thyself. This could be an opportunity to do some bartering. You could find a facility and say, I'm going to bring, 25, 30, 40, 50 people, heck, even 10. If they have never been inside that business, that is potentially 10 new customers. And thank you so much. I got it from Payless. Can you believe it? Anyway, you can, say, I'm going to bring these people into your space. Would you be willing, to allow us to hang out here for a couple of hours and just network and do some things? All right. Just making sure you don't have any questions before I move on. The next type of nicheless event that you can have, but then you can also make it specific to your niche, is, and I actually love this idea. I really, really love it. A Pinterest party. All right, so follow me, work with me here. Come on, let's go. Use your imaginations on this one. So, like I said, you can make a Pinterest party a themed event. And it is like the adult version of show and tell. So we're all on Pinterest. Well, not all, but most of us are on Pinterest, and we're always pinning things and wanting to do things. So, I mean, even in the natural hair community, you can do a Pinterest party to show how you recreated a style that you found on Pinterest. So that could be part of it. All kinds of ways and directions that you can use this Pinterest party. And then you can do contests on the best of whatever that particular theme is. And also, here's a little ditty for you, especially if you have a venue that doesn't mind you bringing in outside food or beverage. It could offset the cost of refreshments, because you could say, bring your best drink recipe. And that person would get, like a gift card. And so guess who doesn't have to buy drinks now? You. Right? Yes, I need some hearts for that. That's good stuff right there. Isn't it? That's pretty epically smart. Yes, I clap for myself on that one. Right. So, and you can do it with hors d'oeuvres. Even if you say, okay, I'm thinking of a food recipe that you could get people to bring that they could, that you could offer a contest on. So yeah, if you have a contest and a, kind of a small giveaway or a small prize, I mean, when I say small, something that would make it dip, absolutely dip. That's a good one. That cheeseburger, all that hamburgers, the sausage, all those different types of dips. So yeah, you could basically have the food for your event done by your attendees. And they would probably, wings, absolutely. All desserts, cookies, banana pudding, cobblers. I mean, if you really could have all of the food for your event done. And you can call it a Pinterest party, because people do like to recreate what they see on Pinterest and what they find on Pinterest. So I think that Pinterest parties are going to be golden. And now I know somebody's going to do it, and I can't wait to see how that works. Well, I mean, yeah, you do have to establish the amount to bring, but depending on the number of people, you don't, I know, right? You don't have to say, like, bring enough for 25 people. No, because nobody's going to do that. But you can say, bring a, you need enough at least for, yeah, you could do cookie swaps, at least for whoever may be judging. So say maybe bring enough for, 10 people I think is good, because if you have 10 people at your event and everybody brings something, that's a lot of stuff. whether it's a drink or food or what. Yes, enough for tasting. Like, and if you have 10 different dishes, I mean, no one ever eats all 10 of the dishes. And it doesn't really matter if you run out, because that's not the total focus of the event. And if you get there late and the food is gone or what you want is gone, then that's on you, boo-boo. So I think it's a good idea. And I think you can make it work. Right. Nobody should really be trying to get full. And that's also a function of what time you have it. So you don't have it at high noon, and you don't have it like after 6, like between 6 and 7. So if you did it from 2 to 4 or 1:30 to 4:30 or 1 to 5 or something like that, then somebody need to eat before they come. And it's just like grazing. You just take one and go. So yeah, Pinterest parties. Tap, 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 tap if you like that as an idea. If you've never thought of that before, but you like it, you're going to see and think about how you can possibly make that work for something you want to do. Because I know, I'm an event planner. I know we've run out of ideas, right? We've run out of things, and we want different twists and things that will engage people and make them want to come and be a part. And I think a Pinterest party would be different. All right, now we're going to get into some niche specific events, but you can make a lot of these work, honestly, in various niches. They do have some crossover appeal. The first one is an event that I wanted to do so badly. So I must love you, because I'm going to give you not only the idea, but the name that I had. No, you're not too late. Come on in, hang out. I'm going to have a replay. Y'all do know that all of my, well, not all but the first one of the 10 at 10 are on my website, right? Like, I'm recording via Google Hangout right now. Absolutely. So when you see me post that list, there is a link in it where it shows the replay. AdeeaRogers.com/10AT10. Y'all didn't know that? My purpose one is up there. The 10 tips for event planners, the one I did last night. Yeah, y'all been late. I got like 3. Y'all late. Awesome. Well, welcome. What's your name? An Extra Touch. Welcome. Adeea R. Rogers, ADEEA R. Rogers, ROGERS.com/10AT10. So 10 at 10. I post an Instagram photo of the 10 things. Thank you for sharing. Of the 10 things that I talk about every day, immediately after that night, and then usually the morning after on Instagram. And so it is listed also in the Instagram photo. All right. So the next event, like I said, I'm not only giving you the event, I'm giving you the name that I had. And it's called Spa La La. I cannot believe I'm giving you this information. My Instagram is Trendy Socialite, the same as this, as my Periscope name. Spa La La. Spa La La, obviously, is a spa event held at a spa, or you can find maybe another space that you can transform into a spa-like environment. And you would have, right, Spa La La, spa event. You would have on-site spa services. I actually just saw a mobile salon in North Carolina, so you could have someone like that come to the event. There are mobile nail technicians, obviously mobile masseuse. What's the plural of masseuse? Masseuses? We're gonna go with that. Mobile masseuses, all kinds of people that in services, obviously makeup artists, lash extension people, what else? Estheticians, all kinds of people that you could have in one facility if you can't actually get a spa to host this event for you. You would have, drinks and light refreshments, spa swag, and giveaways. Now, the spa swag doesn't even have to cost you a whole lot of money, because guess what? They have a lot of spa-like stuff right in the Dollar Tree. That is actually pretty good. The little pillows, the gel mask and the eye mask, the loofahs, the bath gloves. Like, you could do swag just on that alone. Nail files, absolutely. A good kind of neutrally nail polish that would look good on a lot of complexions you can get in there. All sorts of things. Yes, Dollar Tree is the business. They also have, at least mine does, acrylic travel size bottles that you can put in there. You can either put something in it or just leave it empty. So yes, you could have great swag and not spend a lot of money on a Spa La La event, in addition to getting swag potentially donated from other places. So this is where you would, look at relationships with bath and body type of companies, in addition to maybe natural hair, if that's your particular niche. I do shop there a lot as well. So tap hearts for if you like Spa La La, Spa La La, Spa La La. And you can even look at if there's a nail salon that is a little bit larger in your area, that maybe has some room that you could bring in these services as well. That would be a great place, a great option for you as well. So, because you already have the nail and the pedicure stuff right there, and then you could just bring in some of the other services that you need. Thank you for the hearts. The next event that you can do, and this again is probably a nicheless event, I probably should have put it with that, but a lunch and learn. So I love lunch and learns. I did a lunch and learn around natural hair, and it was amazing. I probably should do it again sometime. And so my lunch and learn around natural hair, it was actually at my house. So for safety reasons, you had to buy a ticket. I had to kind of see your name, and then you got the email with my address and information and stuff like that. So I fixed brunch, which it was a breakfast casserole. We had fruit salad, we had mimosas. Like, it was kind of cute. And literally I just set up a U shape in my living room with some tables and chairs. They ate while I stood in the middle, and I came out, so to speak, with my hair not done. And I just walked them through different styles that I did through the course of, the time while they were eating and interacting and stuff like that. So I did everything. And this was when my hair was a little bit longer. So I showed them how to do puffs, showed them how to, use different hair and all of that sort of thing. It was, not that expensive, because again, it was at my house. So I cooked. And so I cut out, quite a few of those expenses. And so their fee, if you will, or what I charged them, basically went for me to buy food and a little bit of swag. Their swag was, I only had one sponsor whose products I put in there, and that was Coils by Nature, because I wanted it to be kind of exclusive for that particular event. And then I added things like a rat tail comb for parting, plastic shower caps, and some other little things like that, whatnots. Right. So, but you can do a lunch and learn around any topic. You can do it if you write about finances on the blog, on your blog, or if that's your content, you can absolutely do a lunch and learn. So essentially, it's just an opportunity, and it also keeps your event to a reasonable amount of time. So you could, with a lunch and learn, you could feasibly have a 2-hour event. So you have maybe about jewelry making, absolutely. You could have a half an hour for people to gather, get their lunch, sit down, kind of start eating. If you're going to teach or do some sort of demonstration or what have you, then you start about that. You do that for maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and then you have sort of a wrap up time. How much marketing time would you suggest for this event? Well, for me, lunch and learn is about intimacy. So for me, it wasn't about having a whole bunch of people. So I think that it is, you could tailor this event in a lot of different ways. So you could use it as a thank you to people that have attended numerous events that you've held before, but you might be able to pull some of that information or glean some of that information from Eventbrite and from past events that you've done. From a timetable perspective, I think I advertised for maybe 4 weeks. It's been a little while since I did that event, but maybe 4 weeks, and I sold out. So plus my marketing was targeted. I targeted people that opened my emails and that had attended events before and that I had some personal relationships with. And so that's sort of how I got those people in the room, because I knew that they would be here for it, so to speak, because I had already established some rapport in a relationship with them as it relates to that. So again, you can do a lunch and learn around any subject. I was supposed to be on a panel for a lunch and learn around mental health. So we were going to talk about depression and mental health issues and seeking counseling and those sorts of things. So again, you can do a lunch and learn virtually on anything. If you write about finances on your blog, you can talk about estate planning and preparing for your children to go to college, or planning for your retirement, or planning to leave your job so you can pursue other ventures. There's so much that you can do with the lunch and learn. You can really keep the cost minimal because for me, the lunch and learn is about, because you want them to learn. So learning, us Periscope, they just trife. Periscope is just trife. Oh, I'm glad. Awesome. All right, so I was talking about lunches and learning. So you can use it for just about anything that you have. The next event is and I think every niche needs to have this event at least once a year. So put a star by this next one. Star it. And that is a 101 event. And what I mean by a 101 event is literally sort of the intro to your brand, your subject, your niche, your passion, your area of expertise, whatever you want to call it. I think it's absolutely imperative that you have a 101 event. So because again, people look for information at different points and times in their lives. So sometimes, and especially in the natural hair community, I always say, and if you're one of my INHMD hosts, I sound like a broken record, but there are people entering our community every day. So what we assume people know is, I would exit out and come back in if you can't see me. What we assume people know is actually not always the case, because they are new. They don't know sometimes. And so I always suggest that you do have a 101 event. So that's where you talk about the basics. That's where you talk about things. It's kind of like the start here page on your blog for those of you that have something like that. It's sort of along those same lines. It's where you introduce them to you as a brand or as a person. It's where you talk about how you got started and your why and what you want people to do with the information and how you typically do things, and then just some basics about your niche. So in the natural hair community, like your wash regimens and staple products you could have and staple things that you should do and stuff like that. You want to have all of those things as part of your 101 event. Okay, so hearts, 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 hearts. If you agree that at least once a year you should have a here's who I am, basics, 101 type of event. Thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate it. The next type of event And again, this goes across multiple niches as well, are watch parties. So you can do a watch party as a political or social justice blogger. You can do it as an entertainment blogger. You can even do a watch party as a natural hair blogger if there's a documentary or something that you want to screen. So it gives you an opportunity to share those things. It can be simple in terms of it being at like we've had watch parties before at local bars that have a lot of TVs in the space. And we've also had it at a lounge at a hotel that had a really big screen TV kind of in the center of the room. So you would have to find a venue that has a TV or has access to one or what have you. But you could absolutely do watch parties. I think that those are fun. Some people have tried to do them around scandal, which is good. The thing is that thank you, I appreciate it. The thing is, you just want to be sure that it doesn't turn so party-like that people can't hear or they can't actually watch. So it either, you just have to have some structure to it. But some people actually do kind of post events. So if you're going to watch Scandal comes on at 9 o'clock, then your event would start at 10, and it's a way for people to like commiserate and talk and share and do all of those things around the event after the event. So some people have actually done watch parties post-event, like a post-event party around something or around something that they want to watch. The next type of event is demonstrations, classes, DIY. And that could be around anything. Again, that's multiple niches as well. To do some sort of class, a DIY, a demonstration, you can do an event around that. For those of you that make craft, you can do some sort of DIY on a particular type of crafting method or type of craft. Next one is something else that I want to do, but I'm going to share it with y'all anyway, but I don't have no name for it. It's just a type of event, and that is a lifestyle expo. So a lot of my friends, and including myself, we are expoed out. Real talk, we are expoed out, and especially natural hair expoed out. But I am here for a lifestyle expo. And I ran across this concept one day a few years ago. I don't even know what I was Googling, but you know, if you watch my other Periscopes, I maintain a Google list. So I was Googling something and ran across a lifestyle expo. And so for this particular lifestyle expo, it was geared to women, and they had so much dope stuff that I was like, OMG, I want to do this. I want to go. They had everything from, and it was almost like they had different segments or areas or focuses, whatever. They had a place where you could, learn how to set a table. They had, classes and demonstrations on creating your own little box garden. Just all kinds of things that cater to your lifestyle, not just one particular aspect, not just beauty, not just fashion, not just hair. It was literally everything. They had financial planners there. They had health people there. So it was like all the expos that people typically have that are very niche specific. It was all in one space. So they had a health fair, a fitness fair, a natural hair expo, a fashion expo, a beauty expo, all in one, a financial literacy seminar. They had it all together. And people literally like stayed all day. And it allowed people to learn things that they would not have known before. And it was just an amazing concept. So I'm all about the lifestyle expo. So I fully expect one of y'all, somebody, to start doing lifestyle expos, and then you need to invite me. because I would be there for that. Or let me know about it, and I'll see what I can do. All right, the next one is for those of you that craft is a crafters night in. My aunt used to do this, not as a money-making event, but as just something that she and her girlfriends would do. They would get together, and they did it two ways. They either brought the crafts that they were working on. So some made jewelry, some did wreath making, some did something else, knitting or something like that. And they would just all kind of get together, eat, drink, and be merry and craft. And that's what they did. You could do something similar, or you could do one around a particular thing. So you could do one, especially around the holiday season. People are always wanting to create something to put in their homes. You could definitely do something around that, and that would be a little bit different. Like creating a tablescape or a centerpiece or a wreath to put on their door with the big old initials in them. So there are a few things that you could do for a crafting night if you are looking for something a little bit different. Yep, vision board parties are along those same lines as well. Hey, you could do a hairstyle party like flat twist how to. Absolutely. That's what I did at my lunch and learn. We taught how to flat twist. Yes. But yes, you could do vision board parties. That is definitely along those same lines. The next one is an interesting event that I did when I was on a board for a domestic violence shelter, and we did what we call boutique parties. So we actually would have parties in boutiques in town. And for this particular one, we did a series of boutiques because there were like 3 boutiques that we had relationships. Oh, thank you, you're sweet. That we had relationships with that. I think they're busy writing down notes probably. That we had relationships with in one particular shopping area. It was called Arlington Village. And so we literally focused on those 3 things, and we kind of boutique hopped. So the event was from maybe 6:30 because this village, Arlington Village, typically is only open until 6. So it started about 6:30 to 9:30, and other stores actually ended up participating in it, but our primary focus were the 3 stores that we had a relationship with. 2 of them were owned by our board members. And so we actually, kind of encouraged people to go from one store to another store to another store. They had some incentives like coupons or discounts or what have you, or specials that they were running. So I think boutique parties would be kind of cool, especially if you have a relatively new store in town. It's another great bartering relationship. It is a great way for you to say, hey, I could bring in, 50, 75 people into your establishment if you'll let me like have some music, set up like a little bar or what have you. This could probably be used as a friend raiser. And you can maybe not necessarily charge unless you're going to charge maybe a VIP, and that would give you access to something to drink. But I think this would be a good friend raiser. So it establishes goodwill with the boutique, and you could maybe even think about, being outfitted from there on a more consistent basis as a result. It could, continue to make those local ties strong for you. It could also connect you with your audience as well. So tap for boutique parties if you like that as an idea. Yes, I think that would be cool too. Hello. The next type of event is what I call critical issues. This is specifically for those that are interested in social justice and those that are political bloggers. So critical issues is a sort of a panel-like event where you have panels. It could be day long, it could be half day, and you would have different panels made up of bloggers or other social media people, elected officials, community organizers and leaders, what have you. The one, funny again, I have been asked to do one like that, similar before, and I had a morning panel and an afternoon panel. And so you had different panels. You remember when Tavis Smiley back in the day was doing those town halls? He probably still does them, but they're not big like they used to be. Oops, sorry I said that out loud. But a very similar concept to that. The difference is, for me, they would be very solution oriented. So either in between these panels, you would have an opportunity to do some roundtable discussions and come up with some action plans and some solutions. And, you would maybe have some interaction with elected officials and community leaders and things like that. You would also do voter registration at these types of events. Now, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, if this is something that is of interest to you and you do some social justice work, I think it's going to be imperative that you look at one in early 16 with the presidential election coming up. So I highly suggest that if that's something that you're interested in, that you look at doing something like that on some sort of scale in early 2016. I still have so much more to do. All right, so I'm gonna go through some of these quickly. You can do a health fair, obviously. Cooking demonstrations are also good events for bloggers to do if you do food blogging, that sort of thing. I'm gonna keep going. A fitness fair. For those of you that may do fitness, health, and wellness blogging, this would be considered a fun FUN raiser, a friend raiser, and a fundraiser if you want to. You can have things like smoothie tastings there, exercise demos, vendors and experts, giveaways. You could do a farmer's market. I think a great place to do this is at some sort of gym facility. If you have a relationship with a small privately owned gym, especially, because you could do this farmer's market concept in the parking lot. Obviously, they could do the exercise demos for you. You could have a few vendors in the lobby, depending on how the building is set up. And some even smaller establishments have smoothie bars or a place for you to do that. So you could do a fitness fair. Another type of event, and I actually did this event in my church. We were opening a family life center. And so we did an event called Taste and See. Now, for us, it was also based on scripture, because there's a scripture about, oh, taste and see how good the Lord is. And so Taste and See is basically an opportunity for people to taste the different wares of different restaurants in your areas. So what you would do is invite restaurants to actually come and set up and provide sample size portions for your guests to try. So the Taste and See event we had everything from the 5-star restaurants to McAllister's Deli. So we had Christine's, which is one of our nicest owned restaurants at the time, the Beef Barn, which is our nice steakhouse, locally owned. So we had all types of places. Then, like I said, we had McAllister's. We had, was Panera here then? We may have had Panera and some other places like that at that event. So you could do something similar in your area. It would probably be really nice in an art gallery or somewhere like that, and people could mingle and mix and that sort of thing. If you do talk a lot about food and food preparation and restaurants and that sort of thing, that's a good event for you to consider. Low cost in terms of you are inviting, and actually you are inviting the restaurants to participate, and you would expose them to an audience. You expose your audience to different types of foods. If you have ethnic food or cultural food in your area, that's a great way, rather than people perhaps Because like, for instance, my parents aren't going to go to an Indian restaurant, but if they were to go to an event and maybe try some Indian food or something, and they like it, then they would go to the Indian restaurant. There are all kinds of things that you could do to help make that work, in terms of, the restaurants offering a giveaway, or, maybe like dinner for two as a giveaway, or a discount or a coupon or something like that. All right, so taste and see. Tap if you like that as an idea as well. For those of you that do food and fitness, food blogging as well, wine tastings. Another event that you could do, this would take a bit of work, quite a bit of work, but I think it would be cool. I was doing an event in Charlotte, and I found out that it was restaurant week that week. And I think that that's an amazing concept. So essentially, it was kind of like there were all these restaurants participating. They either had featured specials, or people were just encouraged to go out during that week. So you could actually work with, especially a lot of locally owned restaurants. You can encourage them to be a part of this, and they could maybe buy ad space on a website, in a book, on some sort of advertising that you're doing, saying that they're going to be a part of this event. And then you just say that, this is restaurant week, go and visit these particular restaurants in our area. It's good for the economy. It's good for local businesses, especially if you target privately owned restaurants, not necessarily chains, but especially if you target the small businesses, the small restaurants, the privately owned restaurants, you could really, really make a significant impact in your community. It strengthens, again, those local ties. So when you do other events that you need a giveaway for, that you want a gift certificate for, guess where you can get one from? Somewhere where you sent 20 new people into their restaurant on a given day. So tap if you like restaurant week as an idea. Another event for those of you that do food and different stuff like that is a food event, lunch and learn. So for this lunch and learn, you can do lunchtime tastings, because I don't know about you, but I run out of things to eat at lunch. I eat the same thing every day, and it's usually some form of chicken. So look at doing a food event, lunch and learn. You can do lunch style tastings. You can talk about meal planning. You can talk about, or even do, depending on if you have something in your facility where you can do cooking demonstrations, you can do bulk meal preparation. A lot of people are doing that. There's all kinds of things on Pinterest about how to do that. So you can talk about that, show them how to do that. For those of you that are, trying to get that going as a business in terms of meal planning, meal preparation, fitness and health and wellness, this would be a great event that you could do monthly. You could do this monthly. You can make it thematic. You can make it subject specific, or you can do something very, very general. You could also do it as a make your own. So you can make your own lunch, like salad in a jar, or a sandwich lunch. And then that you would actually, as part of their admission or part of their being there, they would maybe get instructions on how to duplicate that particular thing at home. So if it was some sort of sandwich, maybe it's a specialty sandwich that has different ingredients on it, or something like that. And then you would give them a recipe card with that. Salad in a jar, you would give them instructions on how to do that. Yep. So tap if you like the food event, lunch and learn. All right, so I'm coming down to some of my fashion and beauty bloggers now. I've done this event before. It was right after a snowstorm, so it didn't quite go the way I wanted to, but the concept still works, and that is a swap and shop. I will go back at the end and do that. I should have, but Periscope kept tripping. But I will go back and review them all as soon as I'm done. I have maybe 4 or 5 more to go, and then I'll go back and go over all of them and answer your questions as well. So we're talking now about a swap and shop. For me, this again is another example of a friend raiser. The thing that I like about friend raisers, and the thing that I think you should view it as, is if I, plant this seed, if I sow in this particular way, then when I am ready, or when I do have an event that I want them to pay, they're more inclined to be able to want to pay that, because you've already, like, I've already hung out with her at this restaurant. I've already been here with her at this particular event. I've already been there with her here. So yeah, I'm gonna pay $20 and go to this event. You've already established that rapport and that connection. So a swap and shop, again, to me, end or before seasons, you can if you want to, but honestly, I think you can do it anytime, because I buy out of season clothes, I buy in season clothes, I just buy clothes. Same thing with accessories. So again, it's a good friend raisers. Depending on where you have it, if you can find a venue that is low cost or no cost, you could make the items that people bring their admission. And that's what I did, because I actually held it at my house again. So their items were the items that they brought. And I actually did mine. Mine was strictly accessories. So mine was necklaces and earrings. And I did allow shoes and scarves and purses and stuff like that. But it was mostly accessories. But if you wanted to do clothes, you could. If you Google that online, you'll see all kinds of really, really fun and unique and quirky ways to set that up. If people don't bring anything to swap, then you would charge them an admission fee. And I would do it enough where people feel like, oh, excuse me, oh, let me just go grab some clothes. Yeah, it's you know what, Diana? I'm not here for you and your mess. You clearly didn't see my picture from Return of the Curls, did you? I posted it for you. Yes, I know I own 1 million accessories. You ain't got to put my business all out here in these Periscope streets. Yes, I can quit you. Anyway, swap and shop. You can do, yeah, you might want to go back and look. Light refreshments. And you can also do little giveaways that can be related to that. Jewelry cleaning kits, purses, a way for you to carry something or some sort of carry-on. Yeah, you did let me live. I took so much jewelry. I laughed at myself. I was like, Diana would have a conniption if she saw this stuff I was carrying. Anyway, I'm sorry. Focus. All right. So a swap and shop is another idea that you can do. For those of you that do beauty blogging, skincare workshops. I know everyone is doing shut up, Diana. I know a lot of people are doing makeup workshops, but if you don't have any skin to put that makeup on, or if when you put that makeup on, it doesn't look like anything because your skin is bad, then yeah, Houston, we have a problem. So I'm not seeing a whole bunch of skincare workshops. Actually, I don't know that I've ever seen a skincare workshop where you talk about how to take care of your skin. You can actually do these seasonally. So you can have one in the spring and summer because your regimen has to change. So you can talk about skincare in the spring and summer, which is maybe a little bit easier. But for me, like I got oily skin, it's an issue. Like right now. It's an issue. And then you can talk about, oh, I need Periscope. They need to start a GoFundMe for their new servers. I'll give $1 or $2 to it because this is ridiculous. You got 7.2 million users. If all of us donated $1, you could get you some new servers, doggone it. All right. So I was talking about skincare workshops. I know Periscope be getting on my nerves. Plug your phone up. I don't know why you be out here playing games with it. While Diana charges up her phone, because clearly that is what made it, thank you, made it go down. Anyway, I was talking about skincare workshops. I do not see a lot of skincare workshops. So talking about how to take care of your skin, it's great to be able to put on makeup like a pro. Got it. Appreciate you, bruh. But if, because I don't have on much makeup right now, I think my skin looks relatively decent. So I think that estheticians, beauty bloggers, you need to look at doing an actual skincare workshop. Again, you can do it seasonally. So at the very least, thank you, you're sweet. Very least, you can do it twice a year. If you're not an esthetician, but you're a beauty blogger, you can bring in an esthetician. You can do some make your own DIY things, because there are some natural things that you can do to help take care of your skin that don't cost a whole lot of money. So, you can do a skincare workshop, which I think is a good idea. For my fashion bloggers out there, Fashion Night Out, there is an official Fashion Night Out. I think it's twice a year, like spring and fall. So you can look at doing a Fashion Night Out or an event around Fashion Week. And that could be lots of different things. Some of the shows are televised. It could be a watch party. It could be a swap and shop. It could be anything related to either the Fashion Night Out initiative or Fashion Week. And so, Fashion Week happens twice a year. So you can look at doing something around either of those events. For all my mommy bloggers out there, whether you are pregnant or not, an event that you could consider is the ultimate baby shower. Yes, ultimate baby shower. So this is kind of expo-like. It is a place where, and I was thinking about it even further when I was doing my notes for this. So you can have vendors there, obviously do giveaways. You can have various seminars. You could do a pampering lounge. So, chair massages, feet and leg massages, all kinds of things that moms need at that point. It could be, you could do it like that. You could also, and this is what I was thinking about, obviously have refreshments. The other thing I was thinking about, people could invite their friends, and depending on where you have it, you could have tables and they could have like a little mini baby shower with some of their closest girlfriends, whether they're pregnant or not. So, nobody really likes to go to an expo by themselves, even if it's a baby shower expo or something, or mommy expo. Sometimes your husbands, they don't want to walk around pushing baby carts or pushing you through an event. So you can still gather your friends. And if you had a room that had these, the tables, and you can invite a few of your friends or a few of your mom friends, and that's cute. Absolutely. You could do, an ultimate baby shower where people, pay a certain admission. You can have levels and upsells with VIPs and having more access and more services than a regular admission. So for my mom bloggers and even fashion, beauty, health, all of those things, you could do the ultimate baby shower. Fashion shows also with the ultimate baby shower as well. And then I think this is my last one. For those of you, again, that are into crafting, craft fairs, again, you can make it niche specific, jewelry making, wreath making, whatever other types of crafts that you have. You can look for unique venues for this. So everything doesn't have to be in a kind of a sterile community center place. Find somewhere else that may work for that. We have an antique shop here that has that has some space where you can meet and hold events. So you could look at a place like that. You could do a pop-up shop if you are kind of a craft provider. If you have things that you craft yourself and you want to share those, you could do a pop-up shop somewhere. Y'all is so sweet. I love y'all. You could do it, make it holiday or seasonally specific. And then you could do something with a crafting area with experts or people that have a lot of experience with a particular craft. And you could have a concept like craft in a box. So they would get a shoebox or some other box with all of the supplies that they need for a particular craft. They sit in this area. It's a social activity, and then they can make that craft together. Whew. That was a lot, wasn't it? All right, so are there any questions before I start going back through that list? Absolutely. Or making a bracelet, or making a pair of earrings, or a necklace. Wreath making, because a lot of people like those tulle wreaths with the big old letters on them. So having all of that stuff in a box with wire and, you know, all whatever else you feel like you need. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was a lot more than 10 this time. All right, so I'm gonna go back through these pretty quickly. So, you know, stretch out your fingers. Let's get ready to go. Get your fingers ready if you're typing in Evernote. How many items should be in swag bags? It really depends. It depends. So I have been, it depends, but depending on how much you have, I know I've said that like 4 times, but it really does. But you want to make sure, again, it's about scale. So if you only have 2 or 3 items to put in a swag bag, then I wouldn't charge $25. Okay. So that's my recommendation. It's about scale. You can have, I mean, at this point, and some of us have even had this conversation within the natural hair community, we have talked about not doing events at all with no swag, with nothing, because they're. I've been drinking a little bit of water. So for me, it's just about scale. I hope that answers your question. All right, so we're going to go back through all of the more than 10 events that I shared with you. I'm telling you, when you see that list and you look back at your when you look back at your notes, you're going to be like, dang, those people going to be mad. They missed a lot. And I'm not putting this anywhere else. They would either have to watch the entire recap, or, you know, they would just miss what y'all have gotten over the last hour and a half. All right, so here are the list of events. See, that's when you have great, amazing friends. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to keep y'all up all night either. So yeah. Heart it up, I say. I hear you so in my head. Right, it's late. Let's get this going. All right, so now you need to stop so you can write and make sure that you have everything down. So I'm good. I appreciate you. So here are the way more than 10 brand building blogger events recap. Meet and greet. Meet and greet. Launch parties. Just a regular party. Networking events. Now I will ask you to tap on this next one. Pinterest parties. Pinterest parties. Oh. Tap, 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 tap for Pinterest parties, because that was a good one. Thank you. Spa La La, which is the spa event with spa and beauty services. Lunch and learn. The one that you should have a star next to, because I think every niche, no matter what it is, should have this at least once a year, and that is a 101 event, an introductory event, a very basic introduction or overview of your niche and your content and what it is that you are passionate about. The next one, watch parties. After that, demonstrations, classes, DIY. Another favorite of mine, Lifestyle Expo. After that, Crafters Night In or Crafters Night Out. Boutique parties. For those of you into social justice and that also talk about politics and cultural issues, Critical Issues Panel Forum. Health fair, cooking demonstrations, fitness fair, taste and see, with restaurants providing samples, wine tastings, especially wine pairings. A lot of people don't know how to pair wines properly and don't even really venture out beyond what they, because I'm one of them. I drink Moscato and I know it's a dessert wine, but I still drink it like with dinner. So wine tastings and pairings, restaurant week, a food-related lunch and learn with lunch tastings, meal prep, bulk meal prep, make your own, swap and shops, skincare workshops, fashion night out, or local fashion week. Or when I say local fashion week, during fashion week, you have an event in your area. The ultimate baby shower and the craft fair. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, what questions do you all have? While you're typing those, I will tell you tomorrow's topic is over. What is it? Hold on. I forgot. I think it's overcoming speaking anxiety. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yes, tomorrow's topics are 10 tips to overcome speaking anxiety. So I know that some of you are introverted and you have some feelings, or you feel some kind of way, or you're in your feelings about speaking in public. So I'm going to offer you some tips and some suggestions to help deal with that. What is my take on online parties? So for me, okay. So for me, I would potentially, I think Periscope is a great way to have an online party. So for me, I would kick off if I was doing it, because I know, your industry, if you're in network marketing, multi-level marketing and things like that, I would absolutely use Periscope as a way to kick off an online party for me. I would, do a demonstration of the product or talk about it, answer any questions, those sorts of things, and then direct them to wherever the party was, if it's on Facebook, if it's to a website or what have you. That would be how I would use it. on its face, I'm invited to them a lot and I don't participate. So, oh, thank you. You're very nice. I appreciate that. So I don't really participate in them, but if there was a Periscope and depending on it, you showed me how to use it, to brew it, to how it works, what have you, I may be more inclined then to check out your offers. Does that help? Hi. Would you suggest getting your blog started first before doing a meetup? Yes, and yes, I do. Hi. Trying to see. Yes, I agree. I say yes, that you should have your blog before you actually do a meetup, because you have to have some sort of audience to draw from. Oh, okay, a virtual baby shower. Now that would be cool. I could see that. I am in North Carolina. Yes, I think you have to have an audience. Thank you for all of the hearts. I appreciate it. Keep them coming. I think you have to have an audience to draw from in order to have an event. So I do recommend that you have some sort of platform. But it honestly doesn't necessarily have to be a blog. If you have a good Instagram following that's, thank you, that is connected and engaged with you, then that could suffice as well. Notes, have a blog platform before. Oh, okay. I was like, what? Anyway, that's what I suggest. You should have some sort of platform and there should be some traction, some engagement, some momentum there. So if across your platforms you don't have that, I do think you need to spend some time building that before you have an event, because you have to have something to draw from in order to get people at your event. Does that help? I hope it does. All right, are there... Yes, this 10 at 10 was really 26. It was. What are ways to engage a crowd at a party? It depends on what type of party it is. If it's a real party, you're not really going to be able to engage them. So what kind of event are you talking about? For instance, you can do icebreakers, and let me pull up my notes on that. You can do some icebreakers that are specific to giveaways. Help, but it's not really a whole lot of interaction, because if I didn't win the giveaway, I don't really care. So let me pull up my notes on that. So there are a couple of different types of icebreakers that you could possibly do. So like at a lunch and learn, you could do the 3, 2, 1 introductions, where you do 3 things we should know about you, 2 places you'd like to visit, and 1 job you wish you had. That's something very different. Another one that I did at the last main ingredient that I had was the M&M game, where you put a bunch of M&Ms in a cup or jar or something, and then the person chooses an M&M, and whatever that color M&M is, that corresponds or correlates to a question that they need to answer. So it could be kind of one of these things. If you pull out a blue M&M, then it's okay, where are 2 places that you'd like to visit? So you can have a list of, you just have to have at least 1 question per color of M&M. So you could do that. That's a good way to engage the crowd. I did that and I had maybe 40 or so people. Yes, I will. It lasted a little bit longer, but I saw people talking, oh, you do this, that, and the other, or I'm connected, in this particular way, and so people were able to make connections with one another that way. So the 3-2-1 introductions, 3 things we should know about you, 2 places you'd love to visit, and 1 job you wish you had. For those of us in the natural hair community, you can do an introduction called, an icebreaker, my favorite hairstyle. And you can go up to a few people and show them a picture of a favorite hairstyle that you have, even if it's the one that you're wearing, a favorite hairstyle that you have and why you liked it. So, I mean, even if a person what? Type all of those 26 events out. Child cheese. I will send you a list, okay? Email me thetrendysocialite@gmail.com. And I'll send you the list of all the events. All right. So what other questions do you all have? Thank you for the hearts. Did you like it? Did you like it? Yay! All right. So again, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm pretty sure there's only going to be 10 at this one. But we're going to talk about 10 tips that 10 tips to help overcome speaking anxiety, speaking in front of groups or crowds or in public. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thursday is, hold on. That's Wednesday. Thursdays is, that's going to be a good one too. So tomorrow is 10 tips to overcome speaking anxiety. Thursday, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thursday is 10 differences between mentoring and coaching. Now, I only do them Monday through Thursday. I take the weekends off. So Thursday is, and that's going to be my last one for the week, 10 differences between mentoring and coaching. But Monday, July 20th is going to be life-changing. It is going to be 10 beliefs you must have in order to succeed. So tomorrow is 10 tips to overcome speaking anxiety. Thursday is 10 differences between mentoring and coaching. And Monday, July 20th is 10 beliefs you must have in order to succeed. This replay will be up probably, thank you, I appreciate it. This replay will be up definitely by noon tomorrow. I got a couple of things and it's late tonight, so it's probably going to be tomorrow before I actually put this up, because I'm going to do a little bit of tweaking to it. So it will be on my website, Adeea R. Rogers, AdeeRRogers.com/10AT10, 10 at 10. So AdeeaRogers.com/10AT10 should be up by noon tomorrow. The replay will be there. So basically, you're not sleeping all this week. You're so funny. Y'all are so kind. So kind. I really appreciate it. So yeah, also on that page, you're going to find the 10 clues to discovering your purpose. And if you were in that one, that was church. That was good. I also have the 10 event planning tips And I have the one I did last night, which was 10 ministry uses for Periscope. So I appreciate it. Yeah. So you have all of those to look at. Then by tomorrow, this one will be up there. Yay! All right. Thank you for all the hearts and the love. I really do appreciate it. So we will chat tomorrow unless you have any more questions. So tomorrow, for those of you, I know I mentioned on a previous scope that I was going to do. Hey, Lydia, how are you? How long have I been doing the 10 for 10? This is actually a week. So I started last Tuesday. For those of you that, oh no, you're fine. You can watch the replay tomorrow. It'll be up on my website. Okay. So, and I'll tag you in the post so you can see the link. You'll make sure to have some questions ready for tomorrow. Please do. I'm glad. So one on a Periscope last week sometime, I talked about doing a squad connection because, you know, I talk about my squad. I love my squad. I believe in my squad. My squad believes in me. And a lot of you have shared concerns about actually not having your own squad. And I said I was going to do a squad connection. I was supposed to do it last Friday, but I was on a 2-lane road that literally was lined with trees all the way from North Carolina to Virginia. So Periscope wouldn't let me be great. The trees wouldn't let me be great on Periscope. So I couldn't do it while I was driving. I am going to do that squad connection sometime tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure when. I'm going to try to do it after work, but I can't guarantee it. It might be 5:30, 6:30. So be on the lookout on my Instagram, Trendy Socialite, and I'm going to talk about doing the squad connection, and it's going to be very informal. We're going to just try to link up with people, especially people within our areas, so that if you want to make squad, what? So if you want to make some of those connections, you absolutely can do that. Okay? Squad connection. Yes. Squad connection. So it's an opportunity for you to make connections in your area, to find people that are like-minded, because all of the people that follow me on Periscope, I feel, are like-minded in this particular way, and that they are just good people to have in your corner, in your life, as part of your extended family and community. So we're going to do that sometime tomorrow. Follow me on Instagram, Trendy Socialite. Follow me on Twitter, Trendy Socialite, and I will announce what time. I may even try to do it tonight, but I'm going to probably go to bed, and so I'm just going to do it when I get up in the morning. Any last questions before I sign off for tonight? Again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for hanging in here with me for almost 2 hours. Y'all are troopers. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that this has been helpful and beneficial to you. I saw a couple of people just join. My name is Adeea Rogers, the Trendy Socialite. Tomorrow, our 10 at 10 topic, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is 10 tips to overcome speaking anxiety. Thursday, July 16th, we're going to talk about 10 differences between mentoring and coaching. And on Monday, thank you so much. I love you too. On July 20th, we're going to talk about 10 beliefs you must have in order to succeed. Love you, cuz. I need to see you soon. You need to make that happen. Appreciate it. Good night, y'all. I love you much. Take care and be blessed. Yay! Bye. Bye-bye.